Fans seem to be very unsure of whether or not they are excited or not excited to watch the upcoming film and Disney's original Disney Plus streaming show, Ahsoka. Let's talk about it. Now, ever since Disney bought out Lucasfilm, fans were very divisive on it. Fans were excited that we were going to see more content amongst the Star Wars platform, but we were also very cautious. And especially with the CEO of Kathleen Kennedy taking the helm of it, being a well-known executive producer and doing well as a producer role, fans were still very cautious under this decision. And fast forward to now, and the company is just rotting in hell. The company hasn't done well in many years. Probably the last time the company ever did really well was all the way back in 2015 and 2016 with Star Wars The Force Awakens and the first standalone film that was a spin-off from A New Hope titled Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, featuring a group of rebel spies that infiltrated the Empire and got in the plans of the Death Star. And also the well-known and surprisingly well-receiving show now, Star Wars Rebels, as it has now gained a massive audience over the years. The studio hasn't done really well, with the major flop of Solo: A Star Wars Story being the very first flop within Star Wars, and being a film that was very undermarketed. We also had a film titled Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which was announced all the way back in 2014 or 2015, and it finally came out in theaters, and sadly underperformed in the box office, not even making half of its budget within the first weekend. But it wouldn't just stop there, as the CEO of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, has also greenlit and canceled projects within in mere weeks because of creative differences with the Game of Thrones directors, Zack Snyder, Patty Jenkins, Rian Johnson, and even Taika Waititi. Directors are backing out from their projects because of the backlash that Star Wars has been receiving. This also doesn't help with shows like Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Book of Boba Fett, and/or Season 3 of The Mandalorian underperforming on the platform, with fans torn about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, a low audience record for and/or Season 3 of The Mandalorian being divisive, and The Book of Boba Fett being a snore fest. Fans have been very divisive. Now, while we've had good apples amongst the tree, Lucasfilm isn't really doing well. And with the silence of Star Wars Acolyte being a heavily feminist series, fans are cautious on whether or not to be excited for the Ahsoka show. That wasn't until Star Wars had actually dropped a featurette with Dave Filoni talking about the creation of Ahsoka and George Lucas's plans with the character, and heavily dropping his name, possibly teasing that Lucasfilm will be going back in the direction to create original, good content without having to push a message that Kathleen Kennedy seems has to be pushing ever since 2016, which, oh my gosh. Fans are very concerned on whether or not to be excited about this. Now, me personally, I am excited for the Ahsoka show. Growing up with her in 2008 was a rough time, but eventually we grew to love the characters. Seeing her return in Star Wars Rebels warmed my heart to see an iconic childhood character return to the small screen amongst new characters. And then getting to see her live action debut, played by Rosario Dawson, in Season 2 of The Mandalorian, was an absolute dream come true to see. But now that she's getting her own show, what is the show set to be about? It's essentially a sequel series to Star Wars Rebels. And honestly, fans are kind of cautious on whether or not Dave Filoni is going to take heavy inspiration from Heir to the Empire, which was a really good trilogy of books. I highly recommend you guys read it, as it was really great to see the creative heads amongst that time within the expanded universe. But whether or not if it's going to be a centric Ahsoka show is yet to be seen. I really do hope that the show does well. I believe that it will do well with the recent TV spot and the featurette that was dropped. I do believe that Dave Filoni has a lot of control with this show, and I do believe that Dave Filoni will be the person to be pointing at on whether or not Star Wars will be doing well or not within the future. So, those are my thoughts about it. And let me know, guys, what do you think about the Ahsoka show? Are you excited about it? Are you not? Do you think Star Wars is dead? And if this show doesn't do well, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.